Just wanted to show you that, like I was saying, that tape comes on them. I do not trust it already. So first thing this morning, I went ahead and got up and I tugged on this one. This is that passenger rear door that you saw how it already popped off on the first application. So I decided, like I said, I want to give it a try first thing this morning to see how it works. And sure enough, it popped right off. So this here is the tape that I will be trying. And I know it works much better. It works good with the spoilers, the lips and stuff. So I'm gonna put it to the test with this here as well. The first thing to do is to get all this old stuff removed. If someone has a quicker method of removing this, please let us know in the comments. But do whatever you have to do to take your time to cleanly remove this. I will probably eventually do this to all of them as I go around and do a little test pull on them. I might do those a little later as it warms up in the day and as I have warmer weather. But I think for the most part, this here tape, and as you notice, it did not even have the 3M marking on the tape itself. It was just the red tape. We're gonna get it cleaned up. We'll be back. Okay, while I'm doing this, I don't want to get too far ahead without pointing out any useful notes while I go along. But what I want to point out on this part is, like I had stated, this is the 3M tape without any kind of 3M markings. So it's going to be very generic, I guess would be the word, very cheap tape. However, once you start peeling it off, if you find the right spot, I found the sweet spot in my peel after a certain way to rub it. And what I will show you about what I mean by that is I started on, once I got to a certain point along here, you see where a lot of the stickiness is just, it's not even sticking to the vinyl. And I just started rolling it with my thumb as such, and it just started pretty much rolling right off. I don't know if that is also an indication on how bad it is or what, but or just how non-sticky in certain areas it is, what you're risking on holding your visors on. But like I just showed you, some areas you can get a good peel and it will peel right off. I'm gonna finish this. When we clean it, I'm gonna just use some rubbing alcohol. Don't use nothing really abrasive that's gonna scratch up or take off the color or tint. So I'm gonna finish peeling this. I'm gonna wipe it down. Scrape that all off just with my fingernail as best as I could. And as you see, this here portion just rolled off pretty much on its own. Where it is heavy, I just put a good amount up there, let it sit, and just try to soak into the material. After it sits for a while, you see that you're able to scrape it off a little better. Probably could use like a putty knife, one of those Rubber putty nice. Probably work just fine. As a matter of fact, one of these, I even have smaller ones. Just put your rubbing alcohol on. Smaller one might work out a little better, but this is the first one I could get my hands on. And to even be easier on the guard, instead of paper, you might want to get a towel. Something to put down. Paper could even scratch up this as well. So get you a towel to put down under it. So get all that old tape, all that old 3M tape off. And at this point, I'm gonna just let it sit and dry. I got those little pieces pretty saturated. So try to squeeze those out. Those little felt pieces like that, those soft pieces, they're like spongy pieces. So they're gonna soak up the alcohol. Try to squeeze them out as best as possible. And I'm gonna let it sit and dry for a few minutes. One other thing to keep in mind is this one here happened to come off the easiest with that tape that's already shipped on it. I'm not gonna fool myself into thinking the other ones are really gonna hold much better. So I'll be keeping an eye on those. We're gonna do a little tug test once we get this one in place to see how they're holding up. And if they appear to be really weak already, I'm gonna go ahead and remove those and replace the tape. You could probably put this on in sections, but I want to make sure I got a real good bond. So I'm gonna layer it the whole length of the visor. Just a note, this is a 15, it's a half an inch wide, 15 feet long. This section just used right at 34 inches. Should be enough to do each one of the 4 windows with this one roll. Like I said, sure enough, this one here did not bond good. So I went ahead and pulled it off. Put this new strip of tape up there. We're going to apply it now. I can already tell a way that this here is gripping as opposed to the tape that came on it. I think these are gonna be okay for now. You see it's moving the whole door. So I think I'm gonna ride with these for the time being.